I saw a little something a couple of years ago about Elizabeth Banks wanting to do a sequel, I guess, to a more adult story for the Flintstones, and I died a little bit inside, not going to lie. And then it was tucked safely into a memory hole until this article came up from Screen Rant. Now, with the latest abomination of more adult stories in beloved animated franchise, looking at you, Velma, my soul is perishing right now. But let's see what they have to say in Screen Rant. Family-ish friendly. What does that mean? Family-ish. Family, like it's going to kind of sort of be a family, but still friendly? Should that be family friendly-ish? Because family friendly, that's like they go one and the same. They go together. Family-ish friendly. Tangent number one. Elizabeth Banks explains how adult the Flintstones sequel show will be. It shouldn't be. Okay? The Flintstones was a kid's cartoon many decades ago. If you want a new audience, it needs to be for kids. I'm sorry, the Flintstone is for children. Adults, my generation, we don't need an adult story for the Flintstones. It's not for us. Stop trying to make this stuff for us, for the adults. Make it, we'll watch it for our kids to see if it's adequate enough to show our children. But stop trying to take cartoons, Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers, all these Disney cartoons that were specifically made to entertain children on Saturday morning. Stop trying to modernize them and make them more mature and more adult for my generation. It's not what we want. We still want cartoons, but make them childish because we still haven't grown up. Don't you understand that? Generation X did not grow up. We decided not to. We had a vote. It was pretty goddamn unanimous, too. We still want to be childish. Give us all the cartoons, the good, well-written, childish cartoons with good stories so that we can pass those on to our children and watch them with our children because they're the only things that matter. But anyway, tangent number two. Bedrock will be family-ish. What the hell does that mean? Sorry for yelling. What does family-ish mean? Family-ish friendly. I do hope this article explains it. Sometimes I read them, sometimes I don't. Let's go on this joyride together, shall we, folks? By the way, thank you for joining me. Family-ish friendly. Explains star and executive producer Elizabeth Banks when discussing how adult shouldn't be. 0%. 0% adult. Well, no. Animaniacs slipped in a bunch of adult jokes that you didn't get as a kid. Then you watch it as an adult and you go, oh, fresh fingerprints. Oh, God. Oh, fingerprints. Look for fingerprints. If you know, you know. Anyway, what? How adult the Flintstones sequel will be. It's actually a sequel. Okay. Star and executive producer, Star and executive producer Elizabeth Banks teases the tone. Okay, not quite repeating the tagline, but teases the tone for the upcoming The Flintstones sequel series Bedrock. Announced in 2021, the animated series will reunite audiences, maybe, with Hanna-Barbera's modern Stone Age family in a new period of their lives as a grown-up Pebbles, voiced by Banks, tries to find her own way in the prehistoric town. Now, that could be an interesting concept if it's written well, but based on the modern garbage that we've been getting lately, I have zero faith it will be any good. Bedrock will also see Stephen Root, Amy Sedaris, Nicole Byer, Joe Lo Truglio. Oh my goodness, Joe Lo Truglio. Cool name. And Manny Jacinto, probably Jacinto. Jacinto or Jacinto? What do you think? As the older but recognizable members of the Flintstones cast. So we're going to get I think I read somewhere that Pebbles is supposed to be 20-something. We had that before, many, many years ago. It tried. It was okay. Grown Up Pebbles, Grown Up Bam Bam. I think we even had one where Pebbles and Bam Bam got married, not including the live-action stuff. With Banks continuing to develop Bedrock with Fox. Go back and watch the old classic cartoons. Really, just go watch those. They're fantastic. They may not have aged well, but who cares? They're fantastic. Let's see. Developed Bedrock with Fox and Warner Brothers Animation. She provided TV Line with an update on the current state of the series during a recent interview. Banks revealed that the show was still in development despite limited updates since its announcement. I wonder how it's doing now with the writer strike. Did you know there's a writer strike? Do you care? Before explaining how the Flintstones sequel Siri? Hello, Siri? Do I have Siri? I don't have Siri. Sequel series editors, come on. Tone could be comparable to The Simpsons. Oh, don't compare it to The Simpsons and other modern animated shows. Check out Banks' full response below. We're still in development. I'm also playing Pebbles excitedly, and we're working on it. I think we still want to be for co-viewing by parents and with their kids. Yes, that's a good goal. That is a fantastic goal. It will have adult themes like all the greats, just like The Simpsons and South Park. No. South Park is not, no. South Park is not for the same audience that the Flintstones should be for. And no. But family-ish friendly. Okay, I guess that's what she means. It's kind of sort of family-ish. Just say family-friendly-ish. I think that's the proper, that would be the proper insertion of the ish at the end based on English grammar. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm a stickler for it. I try to be. I fail miserably at times, but hey, sometimes astronomically. But I think that should be family-friendly-ish because family-friendly goes together. Anyway, I mean, I let my kids watch South Park. Why? Maybe for teens and above. Teenagers. Junior high, high school kids, or whatever, 13, 14 and above for South Park. But younger than that, I don't know. Call me a prude. I don't give a shit. But then again, I watched Wile E. Coyote blow himself up over and over again. Flintstones is no stranger to bold new reimaginings, but this movie was still for kids. While the Flintstones has entertained audiences since the show first aired in 1960, the series has been reimagined numerous times in surprising new ways. In 1994, the family made their move into live action with the Brian Levant-directed Flintstones, followed by the 2000s prequel. It was a prequel? Viva Rock Vegas? That was a prequel? Okay. I didn't watch it. I saw the first live action with, I saw this one. I watched this one. It was okay. With Levant being a fan of the original series, both films were developed by a team of sitcom writers that blah, 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 blah. Other attempts to I hate this word. I hate it. God, I hate it. Modernize. Don't use that word. It has not become a good word. Bring them out of the Stone Age into the Iron Age or the Brass Age or whatever, the Golden Age or whatever. Use better words than that. People are going to see modernized and modern audiences. It does not hold positive connotations. It's not a positive word to use. And I really hope I use connotations correctly. That's another tangent. The Flintstones have also been seen. Oh God, the Flintstones have also been seen in other mediums and have further shaken up the series from what came before. Beginning publication in 2016, Mark Russell and DC Comics' The Flintstones comic book series, I didn't know about that, is a surprisingly grounded and grittier take on the Flintstones and the Rebels. Okay, cool. So we just go on storylines involving political corruption, religion, okay, blah, blah, blah. So it just talks about how they've made more series with more adult stories. Veterans of a War. Ooh, what is that? Surprising ground and grittier take on the Flintstones and the Rebels, as the story featured Fred and Barney as veterans of a war that left them questioning, oh, for the love of God. So Mark Russell, DC Comics, I'm going to have to go check that out. I also need to finish checking out the Scooby-Doo with Batman stuff and talk about that, because I need to see what the result of that, the multiverse Scooby and the gang. I need to check that out. I'm going to read those. I'm going to read some of the old classic comics. Flintstones, modernized Flintstones in a comic book storyline. Okay. Storylines involving political corruption and religion feature added new depth to Bedrock. That's definitely not for kids. Political corruptions. Kids aren't going to understand that garbage. Religion. Leave that to the parents to brainwash their kids. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Don't say that. That's not nice. The most realistic art style. Whoa. While the comic does revisit these iconic characters, the more realistic art styles and adult themes create a world that is more appreciated by viewers who. What? I doubt it. I can't imagine someone who grew up watching the Flintstones on Saturday morning, like me, and, more as an adult teenager. Anyway, would appreciate a more realistic version of the Flintstones. Unless, of course, you want to go down Rule 34. Do not look that up. But how can appreciated by viewers who grew up with the Flintstones? No. A more realistic art style. It does not fit well with the Flintstones. Trying to do a more realistic art style with things like the Flintstones and Yogi Bear and Bugs Bunny, Wile E. Coyote, all that stuff. Trying to be more realistic. That's not what people want. It's sure as hell not what I would want. I guess maybe I'm just speaking for myself in this instance. But let me know in the comments. Hey, if you make it this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Leave a like. Hey. But if you grew up watching the Flintstones, the original Hanna-Barbera cartoon, the Flintstones, would you be interested in a more realistic art style and more adult themes in a comic book or a cartoon? Me personally, no, I wouldn't. But let me finish this article. Bank's latest discussion about Bedrock not only states the series is still happening, cool, give me more content. Oh, it mentions Velma. It's still happening, but may ease some concerns. What? 2022's adult animated series Velma was scrutinized heavily because it was shit. I can say shit later on in the video. It was hot fucking garbage. For its interpretation, its bastardization of fellow Hanna-Barbera classic Scooby-Doo, without Scooby-Doo, except for the skeleton that was under the cabin. While Banks has teased a new, more adult tone for Bedrock, please don't do it. You're going to fail. You don't understand. Oh, her comparisons to The Simpsons prove that the series won't abandon its family sitcom origins. That remains to be seen. And please forgive me, the only hope I have is that I'm going to be able to make review content for it. I look forward to it. How long is this going to be delayed with the writer's strike going on? And, maybe this, the Film Actors Guild. I know it's Screen Actors Guild. It's a joke. I like it. It makes me giggle because I'm juvenile. See? I never grew up. Give me good, fun cartoons. I don't have a problem with it. Don't take established, decades old. Like, this whole idea of wanting to change something to modernize it, to make it more adult themed, to make it more mature. That's not why we would watch these. And by we, I mean, I think it's safe to speak on behalf of Generation X, honestly. Because, yeah, we loved these cartoons, at least until our parents woke up and kicked us the F out the house and locked the door. That's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a meme. It was reality growing up. Anyway, another tangent. We enjoyed these cartoons because they were cartoons. They already touched on adult themes. Fred and Barney working at the quarry, dealing with Betty and Wilma, having a child with Dino, Bam Bam, Pebbles, all this other stuff. It had adult-ish stories. Adult-ish. See, that's the correct word. Adult-ish stories, more mature stuff. Times when Fred or Barney would lose their job or try to go into this, scheme or whatever, much like the Honeymooners, if you can remember back that far. So trying to modernize it, trying to make it more adult is nonsensical. It's not why we would watch. Absolutely. Just maybe push them further along from the Stone Age into the next age. I guess what's after the Stone Age? The Bronze Age? Push them into the Bronze Age where they have to change. They have to adjust. They have to adapt to the changing world around them. If you want to make Fred older, have Pebbles married. Fred's about to have a grandchild. Have that part of the story. If they've done it already, so what? It's been so long. My kids never watched it. Make something that I would be happy to show my children, and you will have a much larger, you will increase the fan base who will go back and find the older shows. I'll go find them and show them to them. Give them something to be interested in. Stop trying to modernize the old stuff. Just go along the same types of stories, and you might be surprised at how much money you can make, how successful it'll be. Unlike Velma, where you just put nonsensical, just bad jokes and the same one-liners. White man bad. Fred's got a small dick, all this other stuff over and over again. The jokes land flat, fail absolutely from top to bottom, beginning to end, from episode 1 all the way to episode, 8? Was it 8 or 12? That atrocity. And it's getting a season 2. Yay. I'll have something to torture myself with. But that's it. Is this something you'd be looking forward to? Do we need all these older cartoons to be modernized, to be more adult, to actually cater to our generation, to the older generations, the boomers, the Gen X, and hell, even the millennials? Y'all are out there too. Is this something you'd want to watch? To be more adult, more mature? Or do you just want the same silly with some adult themes, but more silly? Bring the alien back too. I think we'd be more interested in continuing with the silly and stop trying to put the modern, the modern landscape into the show. Keep it where it is. Put in the adult themes, the more mature themes. Give people something to talk about, but stick with the original basic premise and be entertaining. That's all we want. Just be entertaining. Give us something to sit down and watch and pass on to our children. That's all we ask for. Entertainment. But I'm going to stop rambling. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I appreciate you making it this far. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have a good one.